This is Des Plays, and welcome back to Fallout 4 and the settlement of Taffington Boathouse, where it is still raining. I don't know if there's something wrong with true storms, or if it's just a seasonal thing, but it seems to rain all the time right now in the game. There are occasional bits of sunny weather, but they are the exception rather than the rule. Now, why are we at Taffington Boathouse? I thought we were done with Taffington Boathouse. Well, I thought we were done with Taffington Boathouse too. However, when I came back here recently to install some new mods, I noticed that there was something wrong. Something is broken here, and I have not been able to fix it, so that required some additional construction, which we're going to go through right now. So we're up here on the roof. Here's our buddy Preston. He's going to stay up here for right now. I did shift the stairs around a little bit, and so that the settlers would actually be able to get up here, because if you recall, we did have to console command them up there the last time we were here. Now, don't mind this little gap here at the bottom of the stairs. The settlers are more than capable of getting up there. I mean, we can do it, so can they. It's I was rather when I first tried to make this work, I was like, oh crap, there's no way to put little stairs in there to make it a complete stairwell. And then the guard just walked up there, and I was like, okay, that works, that's fine. And you can see we still have a whole bunch of sleeping bags in here. We really haven't done anything with the house, and this is what is broken. You can see the bar is no longer in here. We cannot place anything else in this room. And there I don't think we can place anything past where I'm standing right now. It's rather odd. I'm not sure what's happening there. And then, of course, when it came around to the evening time, I ran into the same problem I had over at Starlight City, which was everybody just stood where they were, and they wouldn't do anything. So I had to construct this building out here so I could get some more beds in, because we have 19 people here now, and we needed some more beds, and I couldn't put any inside, so I constructed this building right here. Now, if you recall, my original plan when I was first starting building on this thing was to have the gate on one side and the gate on the other, and have sort of like trade workshops here, maybe some trade stands over here, so that we'd have a sort of road going in between them. Now, I didn't think there was enough room to do that, and then I thought, well, what if it was elevated? We could, because we have snappable junk fences, we could snap boards to the walls here and actually use the floor. Now, unfortunately, the tops of the walls do clip with the balconies that we put on there. But that's incredibly easy to get around. We just do the thing that I've done like a million times, raise the floor up by 200 points, snap everything to it, and then lower everything back down, and we work perfectly fine. These things actually are a little bit outside of the settlement build area, but that's not a problem. And the other reason I brought you here today was to talk about some of the new mods that I've been trying out. And here's one of them. What is the name of this mod? This is Northland Diggers Crafting by Ludwig08. And what this does is add scavenging stations, heavily customized scavenging stations. They look absolutely brilliant. And each one will have a scavenger looking for a specific thing.
How are you?
Let me get out of let me turn the menu back on so we can actually see what we're doing here. Alright, so what are you working on, lady? This is the shiny copper stand. I really love, look at the bear. Look at how cool that is. And all the little sort of things that you could expect to get copper from in the game, and that is what this settler is going for. She's trying to get us copper. This settler is the lumberjack and is trying to get us more wood, and we do need that. We have a severe shortage of wood currently. After building Murkwater Construction and adding these buildings here, I think, how much wood do I have left? 44 is all I have left. 3,000 to 44. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. So that is what that settler is doing. And this settler as well. I figure we could use as many people as possible scavenging for wood. And what are you looking for? Heavy metal. I'm assuming that is steel. All of this is listed on the mod page, what each of the stands actually do. I love the bears. Look at that guy. He's got the welding goggles. Is there one over here? There is, and he's got an axe. That's great. All right, so yeah, that's Northland. What is that? What is the name of this place again? Northland Diggers Crafting by Ludwig08. I think it's great, and he's continuing to work on this. He's not yet complete. He is going to add more stands, and I think there are right now more stands than I have up here currently. It's just these are the ones that I'm after right now. I think there's one that's specifically to go after nuclear material, but he is going to add more later on. So you can either, if this is something that you're interested in, you could probably at least give it or track it or give it a follow to see what's going to happen. All right, so this is our new crafting building. Well, sort of crafting building, scavenging building, we'll call that. And I put in this little like one tile little thing because I like these sort of cramped spaces that if you go to Diamond City, there's a couple like that where the paths sort of wind around. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but anyway, here's the additional bed area. We had some, there's a picture of a cat, and we have some of our homemaker beds, and then here's the candles, and there, which are some of the light sources that you can get with homemaker, as well as a lantern. And where's the other thing? The fire barrels. These look, they work up here. They didn't work down in Murkwater, and I'm still trying to figure out why that is, because they still don't work down in Murkwater. But down here, or rather up here, they work really well, and this place looks fantastic at night, as you can see some of the illumination right now. So now that we're down here, we're going to go over the next mod that I want to talk about, which is called Craftable Animation Markers by Opsidar. And what this mod does is, you remember the mats that we had for additional scavenger stations or additional guard posts? Well, this guy has put in mats that will actually make your idle settlers, they'll walk up to them, they'll stand on the mat, and then they'll go through a particular animation. This one, I believe, is on the standing eating noodles one. And we have another one right here where a settler will walk up and warm their hands over the fire barrel. We actually have a whole bunch of these around here. We got ground sit, smoke, hand warming kneel. There's another one over here, I think. Stockton lantern. This person will fiddle with the the wood screws, I guess, up there. I'm not sure. And on the plus side, the mats are invisible, so you won't have to console command them under the ground, like we did with the mats up at Red Rocket, so that you wouldn't be able to see them. On the downside, they're invisible, so you can't see them once you put them down, and you have to kind of remember that you put where you put them. Or here's another one over here. This is leaning against the wall, reading a newspaper, or rather, kind of leaning against the wall, reading a newspaper. It's a little bit tricky to figure out where exactly these things need to be placed. It's probably necessary to console command them. We'll console command this thing. Where is it? Now that she's moved off of it, we might be able to see it. Alright, there it is. So it's probably necessary to console command this over closer to the wall. Let's see if we can do that right now. Yeah, that might work better if she goes back. Now, what I'm saying, there's a downside to this. Here's one, and remember I said we couldn't put anything in this room. This is drinking coffee while standing. We couldn't place anything down in this room that wasn't already here, and so I had to put them down out here. Here's another one, eat noodles standing, and then I put down a third one. I don't remember what it was. I think it might have been drinking coffee. And I was trying to console command it over to this side of out to here, because remember the bar used to be here. And I was standing like this stupidly and not looking at where it was going, so that when I went out of the console screen, I couldn't find it. It's somewhere in here. I have no idea where. So yeah, that's a thing that you're gonna have to be careful of. But it's really cool. I recommend if you do something like this, to have them put them in a place where a lot of either you need a bunch of idle settlers, like we do have a couple people who do not have jobs here currently. What is she going to do? Is she going to sit? That's what she's going to do. So your idle settlers will wander around and do these various animations. But remember, at night there's quitting time, and everybody but your guards is going to hang out for a little bit, usually by the bar, and then they're all going to go to bed. So the reason we have most of our animation markers here is because this is where everybody's going to be at night. And I should have some video of that for you. Obviously, we're going to need some more stuff here, but it does look kind of cool. It adds another thing to add a little bit more life. And so if we wanted to add more of these things here, we could go to, where is this? Under miscellaneous furniture, and we'll just like scroll through all these different, Jesus, there is a ton. What was that one back there? There's Neil praying, sit. Inspect wounded. That might be good if we were to build a hospital, which we're probably going to do over in Starlight City. We definitely have the room for it. Although I don't know if we have the object limit for it. And newspaper lean left, newspaper lean right, newspaper standing, nuka machine. I'm assuming that's somebody trying to get something out of the Duca of anything. Paint wall. We have that somewhere, although, and I might have a video of somebody doing that, but I don't remember if I do or not. Anyway, yeah, so we have a whole lot of options that we could use here, but we're going to talk about the next mod, which is very similar to what we've just been talking about. And what this is called is Settlers Furniture by Shmee. And what this does is actually add furniture pieces into the game. I believe this is also under miscellaneous furniture, but I'm not sure. Let's find out. Okay, here we go. There's well, let's look at this one right here. This SF newspaper chair. An idle settler will walk up, they'll sit down, and they'll start reading the newspaper. Let's see, what else do we have? We have SF dishwash. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why, but at the moment, only female settlers will actually wash dishes. So, yeah, there's that to think about. We have a bar stool where the settlers will eat noodles. We'll search through a file cabinet. We have Irma's couch. There's a newspaper chair, primping sink. If we put that in front of a mirror, they'll, do themselves up. And then if we put this in front of a desk with a typewriter, they will actually type on it. So, again, cool little objects that we can put in our settlement to add a little bit more life. Now, the last mod that we're going to talk about today is actually my favorite of the whole thing. And what this mod is, you may notice. Remember, we've talked about this a number of times, that the gates are a gigantic defensive hole because and they exist purely for aesthetic reasons, because your provisioners will come in or your settlers will wander out and they'll leave the gate open. They'll open the gate and then they won't close it, and it just remains open all the time, so it might as well not even be there. But you might notice that that one is closed and that one is closed, and I don't know if you saw there earlier, there was a provisioner over there. And we did not go over there. I mean, I've done some edits here, but we didn't go over there and close that door. And let's check this out right now. Didn't click on it. And there it goes. Let me go through that again. Although it's this part's a little bit finicky. Yeah, this mod is called Auto Door, and this is by, who is this by? This is Auto Doors by Wenderer. And he's added several different pieces. Or pieces that we can put into the game. And here's one of them. This is the door sensor autonomous, and you put this as near as possible to a gate or a door. It runs on its own power, doesn't require power passively or directly, and it will close it scans continuously, and when there are people nearby it will open, and when there aren't people nearby it will close. Which is great, which is why both of these, we don't have to worry about our provisioners leaving stuff open all the time anymore. There are 2 or 3 other pieces. I have not actually been able to get them to work. There's the one that requires, I think, passive power, and the other one that requires direct power, and I have not been able to get those to work. So I'm going to have to fiddle around with that some more, but hopefully I'll find a way to incorporate that into some of my building, and then we'll look at it again. But the autonomous door sensor works really well, especially for these gates. He said as it took a while to open. Anyways, this is the new and improved settlement of Taffington Boathouse. I do have to say, I am rather happy with how this structure out here turned out. I originally wasn't going to build this whole structure on the right-hand side. I was only going to do the thing on the left for when I was going to add the Northland Diggers crafting stations, or I guess scavenging stations is the better term for it. But I wasn't going to do the building on the right, and then I discovered that the interior of this house is broken. I still need to figure out what exactly is causing that. I might have console commanded something that I shouldn't have. That's entirely possible. In which case, that is probably not going to be something that I'm able to fix. But, anyways, yeah, I do like how all of this looks. This sort of undergroundish sort of vibe going on here, especially with the fire barrels. I mean, it's nighttime now, so you can kind of get a better idea of how they look. I actually like them a whole lot better than the electric lights, and I'm probably going to try to use those as much as possible, at least for exterior lighting. That really doesn't make much sense for them to be interior lighting. That's just not safe. But yeah, we do have a couple of animations going on. There's the guy sitting again. There's the person working on, I'm not sure what, some dude eating noodles. Another guy or chick warming her hands, and this guy over here reading the newspaper. So yeah, like I said, it works. These mats work a lot better when you have them situated in a place where you can't expect a lot of your settlers to be idle. So yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you next time.